Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. Half of this segment is going to be positive. It's all brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. I got scratch-offs for everybody. This is the 50th anniversary, and the gold ones. I've waited a long time to get these and brag about these. We are at Drug City, and this man is a legend. Now, somebody today who can't be here today called you an extraordinary man, and I thought to myself, I hope in my life that anybody would call me an extraordinary man. But you are a piece of living magic. You really are. Because when I put your picture up, I don't know that anything in my life has been as positively electric as this picture of you and me smiling at the Hippodrome 2 months ago. And I called you and I said, I want to drag you out to see My Fair Lady. I saw you 10 years ago in the IHOP with my mother, but we haven't spent any time together. And within, I don't know, 5 minutes on the phone, I knew I needed to get together with you. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate you coming down. This is Mr. Calvin Statham. He was my 7th grade music teacher at Holabird Junior High School before it was a middle school. And the reason I am the man I am today, this man molded me. Is that correct?
I think I'll take credit for that.
All right, because I've done okay. You take credit? You want the blame? Do you get the blame?
No, I'm going to take the credit for it.
How are you? You look beautiful and fantastic.
I'm fine.
How's your wife? How's your family? How's Patrick? How's everything?
Everybody's fine. Tonight we're going to be going to celebrate our grandson again. He's in concert at his college.
What does he do? He's
piano player.
Piano player, all right.
Piano player, yes. And so we're anxiously awaiting that time.
Does he play the piano better than you or no?
Much better.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know anything about you other than you were this man that I respected in 1979, 80, 81, 82 of my life. I saw you a few times after that. I ran into you out in the community. I felt bad that I wasn't at Martin's West the night that you were feted 25 years ago now. You retired. I'm blown away by how long ago this was. But I don't know, like, where you're from. I don't know where you learned to play the piano. I know you used to come in with these electrifying things at our Christmas choral and our spring choral. I have pictures. I got yearbooks. I'm going to embarrass you with your you had some interesting outfits back in the 80s, back in the day. But how did you get to Holabird? How did you come into my life and change my life?
How did I come into your life and change your life? Let's see. I came into Holabird from Morgan State College, and I had not planned to come to Holabird, to be honest. I had planned to go to Solace Point Junior Senior High School in Turner Station.
Okay.
That was where my sister was teaching music.
And you grew up where?
Sparrows Point.
Okay.
Sparrows Point. And I was looking forward to going to Solace Point Junior Senior High School to teach music when I graduated from high school. I knew the supervisor of music. His name was Dr. John Kraft. And every time he came to Solace Point, I would be playing for the choruses or the glee clubs, as they called them then. And he always came up to me. He said, "You know what?" I say, "What, Dr. Kraft?" He says, "When you graduate from college, I'm going to have a job ready for you." I said, "You really mean that?" He says, "Yes, I mean that."
That's something to hear when you're a 20-year-old man, right?
No, I wasn't even 20.
Okay.
Wasn't 20. I was about, I guess, because I played for the glee club from about 12 years old till about I got 18.
Well, you missed the most important part. How did you learn to play the piano?
My sister that I was.
When's the first time you sat at a piano?
5 years old. 5 years old. My sister started me at 5 years old. I started my first job as a church organist at 8 years old.
What church?
First Baptist Church in Essex.
So you had to go from Sparrows Point to Essex to play the piano. Play the organ. You played the organ?
Yes, played organ and piano. The minister would come and pick me up. My parents would not let me go alone at that time.
Well, you were 8.
Yes, I was 8 years old. So anybody who wanted me to play for them at that time had to come and get me and had to bring me back home.
I had to get Lori to pick you up, too. You're 80, nothing's changed, It's come full circle.
But it was amazing. I don't know. My family, I come from a family of musicians. My father could play. He was a musician. And he wanted his children to play music.
My grandfather was a trumpet player at Pimlico for many years. My grandfather played the trumpet, so I had a music family as well.
Yeah.
And being in your classes, music's my favorite thing. I love music more than I love sports. Anybody knows me knows
And
that.
I don't blame you. If you had
It never lets me
if you had
down.
a teacher like me, you should have loved music better than most.
Well, I mean, I would say to you, and Ingrid is here, and I'm going to get in. Ingrid, Steph, Kim, all our friends are here from Holabird, but I love music. I think it's 7th grade. I think of like Styx and Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, but show tunes and a show, and you and Mr. Riggs after you at Dundalk, and I guess the community itself lent itself to putting on a show. I mean, you put on shows.
Yes, I did.
My Fair Lady, Bye Bye Birdie, whatever the show was, Oklahoma, whatever you were doing at the time, West Side Story, I'm sure you've done them all. But that was something to bring to the community that I don't know that maybe I knew The Hills Are Alive as Sound of Music or like Disney movie on Sunday or something like that. But actually getting on a stage and performing, that was something that you brought to young people in Dundalk that I don't know we would have ever seen that.
I got that from that same sister. Her name was Clara Statham Green. She was the oldest of us, and all of us kind of patterned ourselves after her because she was the one. You see, back then, your parents couldn't afford to send everybody to a music teacher. They couldn't do it. So they sent the oldest.
Okay.
And she had a job.
Teach you.
She had to teach all of us. She had to teach the rest of us. And I mean, she took that very seriously. And we were all very thankful to her because she was a master musician.
So you're 5 years old, you're playing the piano. 8 years old, you're in Essex. Hold on, no, you're the church. You're the little boy at the church that plays the piano,
That's
right?
right.
So
That's
then
right.
you get your grades where you skipped all the years that I spent with you. You just skipped, and then you get to Morgan.
Well, I'm trying to get to that.
Okay, go ahead. Was it Morgan a minute ago? I'll go backwards.
Well, what else do you want to know now? You tell me where you want me to go.
What else were you going to be? And you were never going to do anything else in your life but teach children how to play music, and that's all you've ever thought of doing.
My main objective was to be a teacher of music. I got that from my family. Everybody before me, was 7 of us, and everybody before me except for one who refused to play music. He told our mother and father, nope, no way was he going to play a piano. And, of course, they let him get away with that. But he could get away with it because he was a fantastic art student. He was a fantastic art student. But he was also, I called him kind of naughty because when I would be going out making a few dollars playing for this person or playing for this group or playing for that group, he would be waiting for me with his hand out. He wanted my money. So I gave it to him. I did. I gave it to him because he was a wonderful brother, and he was the one right next to me. I was the youngest, and he was the second youngest. And we lost him at a very early age. He was 21 when he passed in a car accident. And so that was very dramatic and traumatic for all of us. But nevertheless, we still continued. Now, my father was a critic. He would sit in his dining room comfort chair, and when we would go to the piano to practice, if you hit a wrong note, he'd tell you. When I started my singers, I was 10 years old.
The Stadium Singers began at 10.
10 years old. Yes, 10 years old. And I started them, and I would bring them to the house for rehearsal. And my father was the biggest critic of them all. But he would tell them, he says, now you're going to carry my name. He would tell them, you're going to carry my name. That name, Statham. It has magic with music. Now, if you're going to carry my name, you've got to make sure that you're singing correctly, that your notes are correct, and everything else. And if they're not, I'm going to stop you and correct you.
How to say this? I'm looking at former students of yours. We've all heard this before, right? I mean, I think I remember hearing this every day of my life in 1979,
Well,
80, 81, 82.
That's the way it was.
Show the camera the look you make if I sang the wrong note.
It's been so long.
He gave me that look at the Hippodrome that night, and I saw it, and I'm like, woo, I don't. Man, I mean, it's like lasers out of your eyes. And you have such a beautiful smile.
But
man, when you got mad,
well,
you were mad.
Well,
I remember seeing you mad.
oh no, I'm
Still afraid.
I could, I could get angry with the children sometimes, but they would make me laugh. I was a teacher. And I had students who would tell me, "Mr. Statham, you can't be angry with me." And this and that and this and that, this and that.
We all knew you were a big softie.
Yeah.
Underneath.
I was really a pushover for my children.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
I was a pushover. But my children were wonderful too, though. I give them all of the credit. I give them the credit. I always said, when I went to Holabird, that first day there, I was told that I was going to teach that afternoon. Now, anybody who knows that they're going to become a teacher knows that they have to watch a teacher first, but not at this school, not at Holabird, because I really was not comfortable at first. I wasn't comfortable being at Holabird. I'm going to tell you that. That's true, too. But
when did you get there? 71?
No.
When did you get there?
No. 63.
63?
Yes, 63.
How old were you?
20.
And out of college?
Yes. I was smart.
Was, past tense. Just want to get that.
I'm still
was.
Smart.
That's fine. I agree. You're here. You're here with me today. You made a hell of a decision today. Calvin Statham is here. He was my middle school music teacher and putting on shows and doing things. But so you started in 63 at Holabird. I walked in 79. So I didn't know. I'm learning about you literally in this conversation. But when I put a picture of you up on the internet that night, it was a lot of Dundalk friends before and after, people older than me.
Did they throw darts at it?
No. What happened was, I've been on the radio 31 years. I got friends outside of Dundalk. I know you find it hard to believe, but all of my Pikesville friends started writing, and they're like, "That's Mr. Statham. That's Mr. Statham." Bruce Scher, who was a partner in WNST, whose father, Nathan Scher, had a Lomas ruler and won the Preakness. Bruce Scher called me right away, and I've known Bruce 25 years. He's like, "Mr. Statham looks great, man." And I'm like, "You know Mr. Statham? How do you know Mr. Statham?" He's like, "Oh, he taught me in 1974, whatever year it was." And what years were you in Pikesville?
I was at Pikesville from 70 until 78.
Okay, so I'm not wrong. Okay, so there you go.
70 until 78.
And they dragged you back to Dundalk. How did they get you back to Dundalk?
I'm going to tell you that story.
All right, I want to hear that story. You don't mind if I drink on the job today?
No, help yourself.
All right, just
help
making sure.
yourself.
All right.
Help yourself. I think somebody's trying to get your attention.
What do you want me? Oh, fix your headset. Oh, she wants me to fix your headset because it's going to mess your hair up. There you go.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry about the hair.
You look beautiful. All right, go ahead.
All right. But anyhow, as I was saying, when I got to Holabird on that first day, I was told that I was going to teach that afternoon. And I sort of panicked a little bit. I said, "Teach?" And my cooperating teacher, her name is Donna Jean Brown. She's still living, I think. And she said, "Yes, I want you to teach this afternoon." I really didn't know why, but I had an inkling that maybe they needed somebody right away. And they did. So I said, "Okay, I'll try it." But I always say this: children made me the teacher. I did not make the children. They made me. And I'm going to say that as long as I live, I have to say that. When those children came into the classroom, in room 11, over there at Holabird, they came in, they looked at me, and I looked at them. I think I might have done something like, "Bleh."
So you're 20. Did you look 12 or did you look 30 when you were 20? What?
I looked.
Look, 20. You're a 20-year-old guy.
I was 20 years old.
And these kids are 12, and they come in and look at you. Okay, all
they
right.
They looked at me, but they were scared to death, I think. But anyhow, like I said, I poked my tongue at them. I did all kinds of crazy faces at them, and then all of a sudden I struck up the keyboard. I said, brrrr. Oh, their eyes lit up, their faces lit up. They couldn't get over it. And they sat up in their seats. I said, did you like that? They wouldn't say a word. They just did that. I said, are you able to speak? I said, but you're not speaking. I said, I'm Mr. Statham. Say, hello, Mr. Statham. Hello, Mr. Statham. I said, now we're friends. We're friends. Right now, we are friends. We're going to be friends until you leave Holabird.
We're
And
friends
even
after. We're still friends later.
Oh, yeah. I said, and until, even when you leave, we're going to be friends because you're my children. We're your children? I said, yes, you're my children. You're my children. When you're at Holabird, you're mine. Tell Mommy and Daddy I said so.
That's true. That's all true.
Tell
That
them
happened.
I said so. Tell them I said so. And, of course, I struck up again, and I played, I think it was a song called The Happy Wanderer. I love to go a-wandering along the mountain track, and as I go, I love to sing my knapsack on my back. Valderie, Valdera, 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 Valderie, Valdera, my knapsack on my back. Oh, they just loved it. Then they started clapping with me. They just started clapping.
I love it. All right.
I said, just sing it on ah, whatever you want to sing it on. And we all started. Da 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 da. I stopped playing and clapped with them. Da 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 da. I said, now you wait. I'm going to say Valderie, and you're going to say tra-la-la-la, Valdera, tra-la-la, Valderie, tra-la-la. Then we're going to go together. Valdera, Valderie, tra-la-la, Valdera, tra-la-la, my knapsack on my back. And we went on that period. I said, now, you know, aside from singing, you got to learn how to do all kinds of things because I'm going to make you work. Don't you love to work? Yes, sir. We love to work. I said, and you're going to work. Trust me when I tell you. And, of course, we did. We worked. But that afternoon, when I finished, because the principal was in there, the assistant principal was in the room, the supervisor of music was in the room, and when Mr. Wheeler, his name was Bixler Wheeler, he was the principal. When he came out, getting ready to leave the classroom, he came over to the piano to me and said, meet me in my office this afternoon. I said, okay, sure. And I told Donna Jean, he said to meet him in his office. She said, well, meet him in his office. I said, okay, I'll meet him in his office. And I went to his office. He says, we need a music teacher. I said, you need a music teacher? Yes, sir, we need a music teacher. I said, well, I had some obligations at that time, but Mr. Wheeler was so afraid. He spoke about it on my retirement. He said, I told him, I said I was going to play for a famous group of singers, and I was, way before my wife ever became one. And I was supposed to travel with them. So I said, I might have to do at least a week until they can find someone to do this for them. But anyhow, I did. I went and played for them, but I came back. I said, you know, this is what I want to do. I want to teach school. I want to teach children. And I told Mrs. Ward, they were called the Clara Ward Singers. And if you look on YouTube, you can see them right now. They're filled up on YouTube, as well as the Statham Singers. You can see them all on there. But anyhow, she said, Calvin, I know you want to be a teacher, but we wanted you to go with us. I said, well, Miss Ward, once I get started and get myself to going like I really want to do as a teacher, then of course, sometimes I'll travel with you. When I have Christmas holiday or Easter holiday or whatever holidays
Summer?
we have, summertime, I will go with you. And I did. So I had the best of both worlds, the best. I had what I wanted to do, and I had what I loved to do, and that was playing. I always loved to play, and I love to train singers to sing. Always loved that.
Well, it's a good thing I
Always.
brought a piano with me today for you.
Well, you should have. I'd have played something for you. Why didn't you bring it?
Oh, well, maybe I just did. Maybe I happen to have one right here. My son gave me one here, so we have a piano that we're going to bring, and we brought out today. You forgot how to play?
I'm going to ask my
You just told me how great you are playing.
Just one moment. I'm going to ask my friends here. Now, would you bring in a teacher like Mr. Statham and hand him something that looked like this?
Yeah, absolutely. This is my son's. Don't make fun of this. It sounds good. Mr. Statham is here. It's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery and our friends at Window Nation, 866-90 Nation. We are at Drug City. I'm going to take a break. We'll have some fun with this, all right? Yeah. I'm going to let you tinker around.
Okay.
You can teach me how to play something. I'm
All
going to
right.
get my first lesson.
What do you want
be,
to
be like Jaeger's music in Highlandtown. I'm going to get my first lesson. Oh,
All
see,
right.
it does play. See that?
Now,
I know how to do Camptown races.
see, the first thing, just a minute. Just a minute.
I was trying to take a break.
The first thing.
I've lost control.
The first thing I would have done to you is to take a ruler and gave you a little tap. That's right. Give me
Well,
that.
don't hit that finger.
Now
'cause
play
that
it
hurts.
again.
Like let's like.
That's better.
I got to take a break, and he's going to yell at me. I'm going to use the bathroom. Calvin Statham has been my teacher, my friend, my mentor. We have Ingrid Kolstadt's going to come up in a little bit. Stephanie's going to be here. We're going to tell some old stories, play some music. And I want to talk about shows and show tunes and putting on shows
All right.
and your love of shows. We'll do all of that.
We'll do all of
Real
that.
Dundalk guy here. We're at Drug City. It's all brought to you by Maryland Lottery in conjunction with our friends at Window Nation. And we have soda jerks, and we have sandwiches and fountains, and we're going to have some crab soup as well. Back for more on WNST. It's Baltimore Positive, one of my favorites today. Stay with us.